Hello everybody, welcome to this edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Place we talk about anything and everything that is geek, whether it be TV, comics, movies, and video games. And as y'all have probably heard my past thing about some past episodes about animated shows, how much I love superhero animated shows. When it's specifically if they're well done, very good quality, action packed, interesting story. But y'all have also probably heard that there's one that keeps coming up that is just terrible beyond all description. And that show is Teen Titans Go. And I know I know of a certain somebody that is kind of a fan of this show, but I don't know why. I don't know why they're a fan of the show. It's just gracious, awful, terrible, garbage, drivel. I mean, just recently. I've seen the original Teen Titans show. That was bad enough, but at least in that show there was some action. It was well animated. It's kind of like watching Batman or Justice League or something like that. In the way it was animated, there was some action in it. It acted like superheroes. It was an action-packed show. But from what I've heard, this show, they're nothing but a bunch of super-powered kids. And I want to pose this question: who in DC Comics gave the green light on this crap? Who gave the green light on this? Matter of fact, recently I was sitting there and just recently my wife was on Tumblr, and somebody made a post involving pictures from Teen Titans Go, and they actually explained underneath what was going on. It was Cyborg discussing something with Beast Boy, and the description down there at the bottom was he was actually describing what a VCR was. Are you serious? You're having to have a kid's show to describe what a VCR is. I mean, there's probably coming up a generation now that has only been exposed to DVDs and Blu-rays and digital and all this stuff. Honestly, I never thought I'd ever see the day where you, on a kid's show, you would have to explain what a VCR is. My nephew was born in 2002. Even he knows what a VCR is. And he's 11 years old. Even he knows what a VCR is. You having to explain what a VCR is and who the Pointer Sisters are and stuff like that. I was like, this is garbage. And another thing, this is a superhero show. I mean, they gained Young Justice towards kids, but it was more mature than this. I'm gonna say it had a brain. I mean, you honestly telling me that this is what superhero shows have come to? It made me so angry recently. I had my wife look up the online some of the episode what's the word I'm looking for? Synopsis for some. Looking at story synopsis for some of the episodes, and I'll actually read a few random ones to you here if I can bring this up. I tried this one time before on another episode. Let me see here. Let's see. This is the first episode series called Legendary Sandwich. And you already know by the way this episode is called, it's already not looking very good. It says Raven sends 4 other Titans to forge a mystical sandwich so she can have the television to herself to watch a version and watch their version, but it's essentially a parody of My Little Pony. And the whole thing is essentially about them going out and getting pieces to make a sandwich. That's what it all of a sudden comes to exciting television, exciting superhero television now. You're making a sandwich. This isn't superhero stuff. It's superpowered kids in costumes. It ain't nothing but like a bunch of kids playing superhero and just happen to have powers. Sounds like a dull bunch of mess to me. And in the next episode, let's see, I'll skip the next one. Then one after that, Robin having to take driver's ed. Seriously? And what the whole thing is about is that his driver's ed teacher is just using him as a getaway driver to rob banks with. So what does he do in return? And when Robin finds out he's being used, what does he do? He turns a demon loose on him. He turns a demon loose for previous in the episode when Raven was tried to attempted to vanquish a demon. He turns that demon loose on this guy in revenge. Seriously, is that how a hero acts? Sounds like some vengeful kid would act. Seriously. I mean, what kind of show is that to be presenting to kids? Mindless drivel and vengeance. And I don't mean superhero. I don't mean catch the villain type thing. I mean turn a demon loose on them. Seriously. See, Double Trouble. I'm not even going to go into that. It basically sounds like a lazy version of Cyborg and Beast Boy. So they've cloned themselves, but turns out the originals are off living somewhere and are now obese. So they live in a filthy apartment, lazy and obese. They use it to take a vacation. Seriously? Let's see. I can skip the rest of these. Laundry day. Their clothes come to life and wreak havoc all over the place. It turns out it was just something to get Robin to do. It was just a spell by Raven to get Robin off his butt to get him to do all their chores. And in the end, they supposedly have to fight a monster made of fruit juice and barbecue sauce. Can you say lame? I sure can. Huh. Let's see. See this. The one where there's one called Hey Pizza, which tries to it called Hey Pizza, where they're taking advantage. They're trying to get their pizza for free or something. Cyborg and Beast Boy trying to get their pizza for free and doing anything to stop the pizza delivery boy from getting there on time. Honestly, I ain't going to say what else is going on in that because it sounds a little bit too adult for a kid's show. Let's see. Beast Boy turns into an obnoxious gorilla in the episode Gorilla. Let's see. Stupid one where here's one. It says called You're Fired. They fire Beast Boy for supposedly failing. They hire one of the Wonder Twins. If you remember Super Friends, they had the Wonder Twins. What was it say her name is? Zan and Jaina. Well, Zan, their name's Zanja. They hire on Jaina, but they don't hire her brother. But they hire on her brother as a since they require each other to use their power. They hire him on as a receptionist. Seriously? And then by the end of the show, they rehired Beast Boy, but they hire him back on as a receptionist. Isn't it ridiculous? Sounds like garbage. And here, tower power. They basically end up getting turned into appliances. So I think Cyborg logs into the tower, links into the tower, and basically becomes the Titan Towers. And they all somehow get merged into being appliances. Seriously? And here's a little side note. Running gag is a Cyborg. Has Cyborg educating the other Titans on the VCR, Webster, and the Pointer Sisters. Really? That's what it's come to? Oh, man. And then Starlight, where when Starfire, the only Titan ever invited to the Titans East annual dance party, Beast Boy teaches her how to lie. Isn't that a good thing to teach how to kids how to do is to lie, be dishonest? Ain't that great? And you're doing it with superheroes. Meatball Party. I'm not even going to go into that because the name sounds. It just sounds ridiculous. Staff meeting. Terrorized. Burger versus burrito. All out competition. Beast Boy and Cyborg basically had different, which is the better meal, which is the better food, and they end up in a contest to sell things. Well, which is the best thing? Whoop-de-doo. It's not. It's ridiculous. Left leg. They essentially get a giant robot, and Robin doesn't like running the left leg. I'm not even going to read half of these. Basically, I could go into. I basically just giving you an example. But it just keeps going on and on and on. And here's a ridiculous one for you. Second Christmas. They try to trick. I forget. They would try to trick one of the members that there's a second Christmas and a second Santa, and come to find out in the end there's no such thing as that. And so I'll read you the last line. A beam of light goes off on the tower, with everyone thinking that second Santa has arrived, but it's actually the Titan Tower. That's the Titan reactor exploding. 364 days later, the Titans wake up in the hospital and think that their coma was a miracle because they didn't have to wait for Christmas. Are you serious? Are you really serious? I mean, it's just, whew. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's all of them. I don't have time to go into all of them right now, but it's just ridiculous. This is what is a presentable superhero show. I mean, you had Young Justice, which was pretty, like I said, pretty close to trying to be kid friendly, and yet at the same time action oriented. Anybody of any age could enjoy it. Anybody of any age can enjoy it. And yet, at the height of its popularity, they pull it off the air and replace it with I prefer to call it Teen Titans Oh No Not Again. Instead of calling it Teen Titans Go, I call it Teen Titans Not Again, because it's the same shtick as what they had with it's the same mess, the same garbage, same junk that they had with the original Teen Titans series, only with way worse animation. Way worse animation. I can't stand anything about that show. I said, and yet they're letting kids watch this. Yeah, this is what they want as a superhero show for kids. And yet a good show like Young Justice gets pulled off the air. I loved Young Justice. And yet it gets yanked off the air for this garbage Teen Titans Go. I'm gonna ask the question again. I'll ask it again, but I'm gonna say it right now. I can't stand this show. I don't want to have anything to do with this show. It's ridiculous, mindless. I'm gonna say who writes for this show? Disney? I ain't seen anything so mindless since Phineas and Ferb. I can't stand Phineas and Ferb, and it reminds me of that. Right down to from the Mist Drone. I mean, they don't even act like superheroes. I mean, I'm a loss for words. I'm getting lost for words. But in closing, I'm gonna ask this: whose idea was it to pull Young Justice off there, and whose idea was it to greenlight this? Who thought it was okay to greenlight this and put it in place of Young Justice? Whose idea was it? Because I'm gonna say it right now. It was not a smart idea. It was a horrible idea. It's a terrible idea. And I'm going to say this right now. I know a lot of folks agree with me. This show needs to be ripped off the air and Young Justice be put back on. It should be, Young Justice should be put back on there instead of this, because that is a way better representation of the Teen Titans than Teen Titans Go. I'm gonna keep right on saying it. It's a terrible, awful show, and it should have been greenlighted, and it needs to be gotten off there. But what do y'all think? Am I out of line? Talk about how terrible this show is, or are y'all with me saying it's a terrible show? Let me know. And always drop a comment in the comment box. I would love to hear what y'all think on this subject, because y'all already know what I think. And I guess that's all for this edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. And as always, y'all have a comment about the show, drop me a comment in the comment box. And y'all got any ideas about things y'all love to hear me talk about on the show, always drop me a comment in the comment box. I would love to hear from you. I'm always looking for fresh new ideas. I would love to hear from y'all ideas. I'm always up for fresh new ideas. I would love to hear. Y'all love to hear what y'all have to say. I love to hear y'all's ideas, and I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see y'all next time.